really excited to now bring up Tamia Brown, who's the Executive Director for the Contra Costa County Workforce Development Board. I had the pleasure of working with Tamia, with the Workforce Development Board for 22 years and under Stephen's leadership and Tamia's as well. So just glad you're all here to present. Appreciate that. I'm gonna get your PowerPoint ready for you. But let's welcome, please join me in welcoming Tamia Brown.
Good morning, everyone. Whew. So many good questions, good conversation. I'm gonna try to stick to my script, but I wanna address some of the things some of the questions that have been brought up. So today I'm just gonna talk a little bit, I'm gonna give you a WDB snapshot, and I'm talking really about our business services, attraction, retention, and rapid response, how we provide services to these different areas.
Achieving equity. That's our focus at the Workforce Development Board of Contra Costa County, a business-led board that builds public and private partnerships with education, economic development, labor and community organizations to solve complex workforce challenges. We invest in our community. Through federal, state, and private funding, we make sure there is alignment between government workforce services and programs and the needs of local employers. If local businesses can't find enough skilled workers or they need new talent, we are the first stop to recruit, train, and retain their workforce. We ensure a pipeline of diverse workforce talent is ready for the jobs of the future to keep local companies competitive. When job seekers and young adults need new skills, or want a more secure in-demand career path, our career centers offer employment and workforce services, occupational skills training, and educational programs to help them achieve upward economic mobility. Our vision is that every job seeker, every young adult, and every business has the chance to achieve equity and live a high quality of life in our beautiful community of Contra Costa County. Representation on the board gives Contra Costa businesses a seat at the table to articulate their needs and collaborate to meet those needs. When we work together to meet business and industry needs, we also create pathways to employment for job seekers, and that leads to a stronger local economy for everyone. To learn more about how we can help your business or industry with a long-term workforce solution, or if you want to serve on our board, visit www.achievingequitycontracosta.com.
All right. So that's just a snapshot of what we do. I got to thank our business services team for putting that together. So business services at our shop looks like, here's what we do for individuals, businesses in our centers throughout the East Bay Work Networks. Many of you guys are familiar with the East Bay Work Network. It's our AJCs across the counties. We advertise job openings, screen applicants, connect employers with qualified applicants. And then we follow up, right? So when businesses come and they say, hey, we need a talent pool, this is what we do in our shop. We also offer employer training opportunities. And through our training opportunities, you collaborate with the AJC staff, our providers, our business services representatives to develop a training model. We can customize our training. We have funding opportunities that businesses can take advantage of to create customized trainings for new hires and incumbent workers. Those funds are typically ETP funds or grant funds that we go after. We also offer on-the-job training. We offer subsidies to offset the costs. When you bring on new staff, the Workforce Development Board can fund making those new hires more affordable and train individuals who don't have the required skills, the updated skills. We also have a suite of online trainings, right? Virtual trainings to improve soft skills, mandatory compliance, and to get industry recognized certifications. And all this is free. We also, we tailor things for employers. We work with the California Employees Association for these mandatory compliance trainings or just different questions about HR, wages, benefits, leave, things that small businesses really need assistance with. So in practice, I'm gonna share here about some of the initiatives, and this is how we work with businesses, this is how we work with our community college districts. So over the last few years, prior to my arrival, the Workforce Development Board has invested in healthcare. And healthcare is shown, I think, behind manufacturing, about an 8% increase across the county. So we collaborate with the community college and adult education. We use our ETP funds, which I mentioned earlier, to train incumbent workers or new hires. And one of the projects that I want to share about is our EMT program. So we've been funding an EMT program, we've get individuals trained, and now we are an apprenticeship sponsor. So these individuals can go and work to become paramedics, and we're helping support and building that program with our local employers. So this is something that we can offer to businesses, right, who want to create apprenticeship programs. And this is a first for us. Typically, workforce boards say they have an apprenticeship, they can refer you to an apprenticeship program, but we've actually spearheaded and developed a paramedics apprenticeship program for our residents. Another project I want to talk about is the marine trades. So this is an industry where we found that not a lot of individuals, they have hiring shortages, typically what you hear across multiple industries, right? So we've created an industry advisory board to develop short-term customized trainings for careers that are in the Marines, right? So we're talking about machinists, we're talking about building ships, we're talking about restoring ships. This was an industry that is aging out, and the employers came to us and said, we need help. We need to figure out how we're going to replace this generation that's retiring. So we're working with post-secondary education. We're working with labor. Labor is a huge asset in this project because most of these jobs are represented by labor. So you have to have labor at the table. We're also working with the Working Waterfront Coalition. You can look them up, the Policy Advocate Group. But this is just a strong partnership in addressing the needs of the employers. As mentioned earlier, we're investing in advanced manufacturing because, as Stephen mentioned earlier, 11% increase in job growth. We have a partnership with AM Bay Area, who is a member association of manufacturers. We're working, creating training programs. We're helping address hiring needs. We're supporting women in manufacturing. There's an ambassadors program for individuals to go and learn about this industry. And we also support the manufacturing days and summits. All right, another initiative that we have recently launched is Think Contra Costa. So this is a recent a website that we've launched that is a countywide professional network of organizations that focus on starting, growing, and retaining companies in the Contra Costa County. There's 5 pillars, I think, listed here. I'll read them if you guys can't see. Entrepreneurship, business startups, funding and loans, HR, regulatory and legal assistance, workforce talent and training, growth services, and networking. And that's Think Contra Costa. We're also, as we move out of our initial website implementation, we're going to have pop-up resources across the county where businesses and partners can come out and network and get information. That's to come. All right, rapid response. This is another retention model that we use real quickly. Layoffs. We get warn notices, we provide on-site services, rapid rehire, tailored support to meet the affected individuals. And layoff aversion, this is something that we do that is not typically understood or known about, but we, we want to avert any layoffs that we can, right? And that could be, workforce planning. We could be training. So individuals who are they're laying off, say, because of, they don't have the skill set. Well, let's take these individuals, let's get them in a customized training program so that they don't get laid off, and maybe they can get a wage increase by building their skills. So that's something we do with our layoff aversion funds. Other opportunities, work sharing programs, job rotation, cross-training. All right, in summary, just want you guys to know that employer services aim to support businesses in finding, training, and supporting their workforce development needs. Now, I am open for questions because there's a lot of workforce development talk, and if you guys have any questions, I'm just gonna wing it and answer whatever questions come at me.
Thanks, Tamia. First, I want to say that Los Bananos College has loved working with the Workforce Development Board. You guys are great partners, so I definitely want to encourage everybody work closely with her and her staff. They're awesome. Wanted to follow up on your comment about the apprenticeships and having the board serving as actually the intermediary or the standard holder for that new paramedic apprenticeship. Is that something the board is looking at doing on a wider scale of actually being the intermediary and developing and holding the standards for additional apprenticeships?
Well, yes, we are looking into that. This has been our trial run with the paramedics apprenticeship program. And we find, some employers have been reaching out to us to think about how they can, use apprenticeships as a model in their workforce. So there's federal dollars available. We received 2 grants to support this apprenticeship model from the Department of Apprenticeship Standards.
That's really good to hear, because I know we're always excited about apprenticeships, and I know a lot of employers and other workforce development folks are really excited about apprenticeship potential. We know that there is a large lift to create that apprenticeship standard and get it registered. So knowing that that's something the board is looking at, we will definitely want to follow up on that.
Okay, great. No, absolutely.
Question? All right, let's give me 1 second.
Hi, Leslie.
I'm just helping you get your steps in, George. Always looking out. As you were sitting here talking about it, I was thinking about the fact that we have a lot of folks who are English language learners who come over with experience, but one of their roadblocks, and something we try to help at the San Pablo EDC, is how can we get them language ready? Because we really need them in healthcare. We need them, we need language competent care, we need culturally competent care. So I'm wondering if, since we have the colleges and maybe adult ed, can we look at, with those dollars, forming language programs instead of just going to ESL? It's language around specifically EMT, paramedic, that sort of thing, so we get more of the folks in our community who are ready to do this, truly ready and able, language competent, in order to pass the certifications and move up.
No, absolutely. There's multiple opportunities that I can think about here. We can definitely, we're looking to ensure that individuals that we bring into our EMT programs and our healthcare career pathways represent the communities in which they live. So that being bilingual. So working with the community college, we have programs that are specifically designed for the ESL, English Second Language learners. But yeah, that's something that we can definitely continue to strategize on.
I want to mention there's a county-wide adult education consortium that involves the adult ed schools and the 3 community colleges in the county, and we just got a grant for exactly that, for healthcare and English language learning. So it may be adding contextual ESL classes either before someone goes into a healthcare program or concurrent with, or as you say, there may be people who already have the credentials from their native language or from their native country. They just need to be able to pass a certification exam in the US. So I think there's more to come on that, but you're absolutely right, there's a big need.
Any other questions?
Oh, the Bay Area jobs. That's the one I
Sorry,
forgot.
monopolize. Tamia, we, as we are working with all our partners and stakeholders, we hear a lot about we need 1,000 bus drivers a year trained. We need 500 bus mechanics. We need 1,000 e-bike mechanics, or we need property managers after we build. So, we hear a lot of that, and we kind of direct them to the workforce development boards. The question I have is, like, if we have those kind of, these are all public sector jobs. They're good paying jobs with benefits, and we're having a hard time filling those jobs because they're not being trained, folks are not being trained, and it probably requires a year or 6-month training to be a bus driver. So do we come to you with funding, or do we come to you with the need?
Both.
Or both?
Both.
Okay.
Not going to turn down any funding. However, this is where we work with the community colleges, we work with private training providers to ensure that their curriculum is up to date and training for the workforce that we need, right? So we bring industry into the conversation initially to find out, okay, here's the training programs, here's our, what we have in our system. Does this meet your needs? If this doesn't meet your needs, we need to sit down and work with the deans, we need to work with the faculty to come up with the right curriculum to ensure that we're training the workforce for the jobs. Now, we know that most of our programs in the community colleges are impacted, especially in the in-demand occupations. So we have to figure out a way to get more people in those trainings. We have to train, professional development is necessary. We have to get people more trained and more into providing instruction.
And what if you don't have the money?
What if we don't have the money? Well, we go after the money. I will say that, we brought in, 10 million last year in discretionary funds. I didn't talk about all of them, but we did go after quite a bit of funds to address, just recently we submitted a grant for the displaced oil and gas workers. So we're anticipating the fallout in that and how we're gonna serve those individuals. We brought in a high road training partnership to address healthcare initiatives. We're trying to develop the maritime trades. That was a $4.5 million grant, a partnership with Alameda County, covering both counties, to develop pathways in that industry. Let's see, what else did we do? We have a Californians for All grant where we're training young people, focused on young individuals entering into climate, sustainability, careers. But if you notice, all of the grant opportunities and solicitations ask for a workforce development arm, right? And so that's why I tried to share with you guys some of the things that we offer, because we speak the language within those solicitations, right? We are your partners. We convene, we have everyone at the table. We have CBOs, we have community colleges, we have industry, we have everyone at the table. We just need to come together. I think the Bay Area jobs first. I keep wanting to call it something else, surf, but okay, we got a name change. But we bring together 9 counties, 10 workforce boards covering the greater Bay Area. So we have the people at the table. And that just covers industry, education. I mean, it's a huge network. This is something that's unprecedented. I've been in workforce for like 20 years, and 9 workforce boards have never come together to have a conversation and work together. So. All right.
Nothing else? Thank you, Tamia. Let's give her a hand for that. Thank you so much.